45, and today we will be playing chess and listening to some creepypasta. So
I'm a 911 operator, and I just had the most terrifying call.
What is your emergency? Yeah, hi, this is gonna sound kind of strange, but there's a man stumbling around in circles in my front yard. Could you repeat that, sir? He looks, sick or lost or drunk or something. I just woke up to get a glass of water and heard snow crunching outside, so I picked out. I'm looking at him right now. He's about 10 yards away from my window. Something's not right. And, sir, what is your address? 1617 Quarry Lane in Pinellas Pass. Alright, I'm sending a squad car your way, but that's quite a ways out. Are you alone in your house, sir? Yeah, I'm alone. And can you confirm for me that all your doors and windows are locked? And stay on the phone with me, please. Well, I know my front is definitely locked, but I'll go check the back door again real quick. By the way, I really appreciate this. I know this is kind of strange, but I really hope that... Sir? Are you still there? He's still in the front yard, but he's... What the fuck? He's upside down. Sir? Stay on with me. What's happening? He's staring right at me, but he's standing on his hands now? He's perfectly still, just staring straight at me. He's doing a handstand but he's smiling at me and he's not moving. He's doing a handstand, sir? I don't know. Yeah, he's facing me and he's standing on his hands and he's got this huge fucking smile on his face and he's perfectly still. What the fuck? Can you please send someone out here now? And fast? Sir, I need you to remain calm. I put out the call and the officer is on his way now. His teeth are so huge. What the fuck? Please, can you help me? Sir, I want you to try and calm down and keep an eye on him, but make sure your back door is locked again. We need to make sure all possible access points are secured. Can you talk me through and confirm that your back door is locked? Okay, I'm walking backwards now and I'm keeping my eye on him. Okay, my hand is on the doorknob now. It's locked. Okay, I gotta check my deadbolt now, so I gotta take my eyes off of him just for a second. Alright, sir, help us on the way. Just stay on the phone with me and everything's gonna be alright. Sir? Sir, are you still there?
Sir.
His face, it's up against my window? Sir, I need you to speak up. What's happening? I looked away for a split second and now he put his face against my front window. His teeth are so huge. And he's still smiling. He's got no color in his eyes. Jesus help me. Why won't you fucking move? Sir, I need you to go to the nearest bedroom or basement and lock yourself inside of it. Do you have a place like that you can go? He won't stop staring at me. He's gonna hurt me. Sir, I need you to listen to me. Lock yourself somewhere safe until the officer arrives at your home. Can you understand me? Yeah. I'm gonna lock myself in my room. And you are absolutely positive you are alone in your house, correct? Yes, I'm alone in the house. Wait a minute. He's moving. He's shaking his head. He's telling me no. He can hear us. He's telling me no! Sir? Sir, are you still there? Sir, I heard a loud noise. Is everything alright? Sir?
This is funny. Why they're called sixes? Why
they're called sixes? Hey, I brought you here, listen, just sit down, okay, I wanted to tell you about my life and the strange things I've seen, but before I do, you gotta understand, my actions in the end absolutely had their reasons, okay? Okay, alright, I got it written down here. Okay, sorry, I was born to a single mother. She was only 15 around the time I was born, and she wasn't exactly ready to be a mom. Apparently, my dad was even less ready because his parents ended up sending him to a boarding school so he wouldn't even have to be responsible for me or my mom. We were mostly supported by our parents, but otherwise, we were completely alone. I started discovering my gift when I was about 5 years old.
My gift.
My great-grandmother had passed away recently, and I felt really confused when I walked into the viewing room of the funeral parlor and saw my gran sitting in the chair next to her own casket. At that point, I'd already grasped that death meant that you were gone forever, but yet there she was. My confusion was overpowered with my relief, though. Approaching her, she seemed different. There, but not quite the same. Like when you're picturing something in your head, your eyes are open and you're clearly seeing what's in the room, but something's entirely different at the same time. But then she whispered in my ear, kissed my forehead, and disappeared. I walked up to my mom and asked her about the roses in Italy, as Gran instructed. To this day, I still don't know what that meant, but it was something important enough to make my mother fall to her knees. She held me, and it was the only real time that I remember feeling like she truly loved me. Sorry, okay, as I grew, my gift became a little bit more apparent. I'd see people I wasn't supposed to see in everyday situations. You would even notice me and follow me home. I didn't really mind. No one ever really imposed or tried to harm me. They just wanted company until they figured out how to move on, or they found someone more interesting to follow around. I'd talk about it as if it were normal, and my mom never really put forth effort to stop me doing that, but she still kind of acted embarrassed when I did it around other people. No one ever really took it seriously. Not like Mom did. Honestly, I think she feared me for a while. When I was about 8, things changed. And it was all due to Mom meeting a man named Mike. He was lanky and smelled bad and talked too loud. Still, he had a more stable job than Mom did, so she fell right into his lap. He wasn't a horrible guy at first, just kinda greedy. My mom told him about my gift, and he came up with this master plan to use me as a pay pig, post my name up in the phone books as the world's youngest psychic. I don't know if he even believed my gift was real at first, but he definitely learned otherwise later. But, you know, that's how I started talking to dead people in my living room, as I was just beginning to learn multiplication. It was fun at first, you know, when it wasn't the same old tell my mom I love her bullshit. Then there was the case when I was 13, where I was seeing a family who believed the spirit of a 4-year-old girl was haunting their house. They claimed that they didn't intend to make the girl leave, they just wanted to learn more about her so they could make her more comfortable in their home. When I walked into the room, there was definitely no little girl. There was, however, a gray non-human entity crouched on their 17-year-old son's back. Its skin looked like paper, and its eyes were fully blood red. It came in human-like shape, but it was far from human. These non-humans, they were called sixes, actually. Sixes are souls that were never human. They're created out of pure sorrow and pure hatred. Their negative emotion embodied into an evil spiritual being. They can even project the actions of human spirits to confuse their hosts and make them think that they're just victims of a normal haunting. Human souls, they can't really hurt you unless they're extremely sinister, like Bundy sinister. Sixes, however, oh yeah, they can. Along with several other non-human entities I don't really want to talk about right now, but yeah, they suck every emotion out of you and radiate so much of their own sorrow and hatred until you either kill yourself or you commit a crime so horrible you'll likely get the death penalty. They usually go after evil, corrupt, or just plain miserable people. They're called sixes, by the way, because they usually only last 6 months before you lost it. I'm gonna get a little bit personal here. I think I started resenting my mom when I was 16. I had gotten tired of the job, obviously, as people would. Everyone in town knew me. All the kids at school called me a freak. By this point, Mike had started to drink away all the money that people had paid me to tell them their grandmother loved them or that their dead child was in a better place. He became violent and angry. He hit my mom, and she just took it for a while. And then she started to blame me. She even said this, okay? If you never would have started talking to fucking Casper, maybe we wouldn't be in this situation.
Casper?
Completely ignoring the fact that her boyfriend, was the reason, not mine. Not long after that, he stopped hitting her and started hitting me.
Oh, call it.
Then she did too. Only months later, I started seeing sixes roaming around. You know, whenever my parents were near, they just... I watched this without a word. I didn't say anything. Still allowing them to score me to jobs or whatever the heck they wanted me to do. At first, the sixes, they would stay far away. I'd see them out of the window, across the street, whatever. They creeped closer as time went on, though. Slowly, very, very slowly. The whole fear aspect was kind of being outweighed by the curiosity, though. I'd only ever seen them on people's backs, not just standing there. I became a little bit more startled when they stood at our windows. They knew I could see them, but they disregarded me. And I said nothing to my mother the day I watched one crawl onto her back and latch its gaping teeth mouth onto her shoulder. I wasn't surprised when I saw another one on Mike's back later that day. I thought about telling Mike and my mom, calling up a specialist to help get rid of the sixes that had only just begun to drain my sad excuse for her family, you know, just get them all away from them. But then I thought about finally being alone. Never having to do jobs that they told me to do. Never being subjected to a drunken lecture about my responsibility to support my family. Never explaining my bruises with teachers. So, I didn't tell him. I just sat back. And I enjoyed the show.
Ugh. Icky. Icky, icky, poo, poo, putta, putta, poo, poo, picky, picky, poo, poo.
Noises. I hate the noises people make. They didn't used to bother me much, but recently, something in me has changed. Normally a little cough here, sniff there would go unnoticed, but lately it's all I hear. It's constant, relentless. You see, I finally rejoined the workforce after finally getting my life balanced out, and ended up with a nice little desk job that suits me perfectly. I work in customer support, so basically I assist people with their issues as they call. I mean, I even have a headset and speech recognition software, though I'm really not good with computers, so they had someone set everything up for me. I can now send emails and draft Word documents just by using my voice. I love technology. For the first time in my life, things are great. New job, new friends, new relationship possibilities, and I even got a new dog. Her name is Ellie. My company even lets me bring Ellie into the office. I've truly never been happier. But then it started. Cough, sniff. Cough, sneeze. These were normal sounds that I'm sure everyone's heard in their lifetime, but for some reason, now it's like they were just amplified. Like loud, exaggerated versions of themselves. I mean, they sounded like the way a person would mock someone who was sneezing or coughing. It made my ears ring. How is this possible? Was it just me? It's like these people were coughing and sneezing through a fucking megaphone. Did they know how loud they were being? How disruptive they were being? How annoying? No, it could not have just been me. Everyone must have heard. I mean, how could they not? It was happening practically non-stop all day. Every couple seconds there was a little sniff, cough, throat clear, sneeze. How was I supposed to concentrate with all these distractions? I was the new guy. I didn't want to be the complainer in the office, at least not this soon, but the noises, they were just unbearable. I started to draft a nasty email to my boss with my complaints, but I hesitated. That was the old me. The old, neurotic, unhappy me. The me who worried about everything and could not be in control. So I took a deep breath and I made a conscious choice to let it go.
Let it go.
That was 2 months ago. It's spring now. Allergy season. I mean, I thought it was bad then. It is hell now. Every single person in my office has allergies. Every single person has sniffed or coughed or sneezed or cleared their throat. All day long.
Those
I sit at my
psychos,
desk
those
every
madmen.
minute of every day listening to their noises. You know when you go swimming or you tilt your head the wrong way in the shower and you get that water in your ear? You know that numb, pulsing feeling you get from inside your head? That's what I felt every time one of them made a noise. I started sweating constantly throughout the day. I snapped at people when they spoke to me. I yelled at customers on the phone. Hell, I even got a rash. At least I think it was a rash. All I know is it started on the back of my neck and it wouldn't stop itching. Eventually it spread to inside my ears. God, I must have used hundreds of Q-tips in an attempt to relieve the itch. Hell, my coworkers informed me at one point that they were coming out soaked with blood. I hadn't noticed. This must have freaked out some of the people around me because they eventually complained to my boss. They complained about me.
Shit.
I explained the issue to him, and he feigned sympathy. He told me allergy season would be over soon and that I would be fine in a few months. Then he sent me on my merry way back to hell. I started to walk back to my desk, but as I passed the break room I heard a loud sniff, followed by hushed laughter. They were mocking me. I couldn't tell who had made the noise, but I was sure they all had laughed. I went back to my desk and sat down. The jokes and mock noises eventually stopped as the day went on, though the real ones didn't. The headache started again. My hands started shaking soon after.
I'm crazy. Can't you see?
Eventually, all I heard was constant ringing. No, not this again. I was past this. I passed it. I do not want this. I whispered into the headset. The corresponding words typed themselves into the computer. I assumed. Someone must have heard me because I heard whispers, followed by more mocking noises. And they all laughed. I took off my headset, stood up, and walked into the break room, past their noises, past their laughs. I opened the first drawer and fumbled around inside, until I grabbed what felt like a pair of needle-nose pliers. I stuck them in my left ear, pulling through the ear canal, scraping the sides along the way, until I felt the force against the tips. I opened the pliers as far as they could go, pushed forward slightly and closed down until I could just feel flesh between the jaws. Then I pulled. I then pulled everything out. I closed the pliers and made stabbing motions to loosen anything that may have been stuck and pulled out just a few more large chunks. I stabbed a few more times until my eardrum and all those little working parts that made hearing possible, they were nothing more than scrambled flesh. For one last time, I heard wet flesh slap against cold tile. I snapped my fingers next to my ear, just to make sure I couldn't hear anything. I inserted the pliers into my right ear. Poorly. They were open slightly and I was still shaking. Adrenaline was pumping. So I kind of stabbed the top and bottom sections of my ear canal. Deep. I slid the pliers out, feeling and hearing the blood starting to pour. Someone came into the break room at this point and started screaming. I knew I had jammed the pliers incorrectly the second time, though, because I heard the scream cut to black. Though, just for good measure, I yanked out a few more pieces of inner ear. I dropped the pliers, feeling the vibration through my feet, and walked back to my desk, feeling the warm liquids run down the sides of my neck. I sat down, leaned back in my chair, crossed my legs up on my desk, and arms behind my head. Then I just listened.
room.
An old familiar smile formed across my face. Dictated, but not read.
Welcome to my game.
I found something, and I don't know what to do. Before I share this, I just want anyone that reads this to know that I love my wife. I love her so much. We've been having troubles for the past few years. She's desperately been wanting children, and I do as well, I suppose. We went to clinics and doctors and therapists. She just cried and moaned as I held her because I knew this must be a hard time for her. I stroked her hair and kissed her, promised her we would find. But then I found something. I made her a small shed in our garden, sort of a studio, I guess, for her paintings. She loves to paint. I usually don't like to disturb her, though. I mean, her studio is her place, you know, just like my man cave is mine. I don't know why, I just got a bit curious. She was away for the morning, driving to the gallery a few hours away, so I just kind of let myself in. God, I love my wife, but those paintings, they were creepy.
Those paintings, I
It's
see.
the only word. Each one was of a family, a father, a mother, and a baby.